gives Diwali address and blessings in the parliament. But most of all, among the devotees, he's united everyone. Bhaktivedanta Manor is probably the most unique, incredible project in the West, in its own way. Srila Prabhupada spent most time there in Europe. He called it his European headquarters. George Harrison donated it. As large population of Prabhupada disciples, second generation, third generation, Pandavasena, Western people, Indian people, temple people. Shruti Dharma Prabhu has kept everyone united, serving together in such a spirit of devotion, because everybody knows that he's there for them. And recently it was discovered he had an extremely dangerous form of cancer in his brain. So such a vulnerable condition, not really knowing how much time, so much physical difficulty. And yet when I visited him, I would speak so many things. But he only spoke one thing: how grateful he was, how blessed he felt himself, truly coming from the core of his heart. Sometimes in that state, it's difficult to articulate too many thoughts. At which time it's just what's in your heart. Again and again, eloquently expressing gratitude. Gratitude for all the devotees who have blessed him. Gratitude to Srila Prabhupada and all of his gurus. Gratitude to Krishna, who's given him so many opportunities to serve in every way. Really, it's hours and hours every day. Every time he was going to speak, I could predict what he was going to say. In different ways, he simply was grateful, was happy, was surrendered. Because this is a quality of Sharanagati, surrender. Is you're not complaining. We all have so many reasons to complain. In this material world, padam padam yadvi padam natesham dukalayam ashashrutam. It doesn't take a great person to find reasons to complain in this world. Abrahma bhuvanaloka punar avartanorjuna mamupeti tukontiya punar janmana vidyate. From the highest planet in this world to the lowest, they're all places of birth and death. They're all places of threefold miseries. Miseries of the body and mind, miseries caused by others, miseries caused by natural disturbances. And yet in this world, under the illusion of Maya, people think that they could show how great they are by criticizing others, by complaining about situations. There's limitless abundance of reasons to complain. But surrender is whatever condition we're in. We're grateful for the opportunity to remember Krishna. We're grateful to serve. We're grateful to receive Krishna's love and the blessings of others. So Nanda Maharaj was so happy. Garga Muni has come. Nanda Maharaj he's Brajaraj. He's the king of Braj Bhumi. All his hundreds and thousands of cows and calves and bulls. All the people of Vrindavan, they all accepted him as their leader, unconditionally. What Nanda Maharaj said, everyone would do. When his father, Parjanya, performed a ceremony in Gokul to coronate his older brother, Upananda, as the king of Braj, Upananda said, in front of everybody, the title, the role, the power, the popularity was all being given to him. And everyone unanimously accepted, yes, it is yours. There wasn't an election. There was no need to campaign or prove himself. It belonged to him. He's the Upananda. But in front of everyone, he melted their hearts. He said, actually, my younger brother, Nanda, he's more qualified than me. I just want to assist him. Upananda was perfectly empowered and qualified. But he saw that his brother had this special feature of love, of devotion, of care. So he said, I want to give my title to my younger brother. It's not the way brothers usually are in this material world. There was no competitive envy or anything. And Nanda Maharaj was very humbled. He was thinking, no, you're my brother. I'll do whatever you say. And Upananda said, this is what I say. You be the king of Braj Bhumi. I will be your minister and I'll give you whatever advice you'd like. And everyone in Vrindavan, they were so happy. Not only were they happy that Nanda Maharaj was going to be their leader, they were so happy to see the love between these brothers. It was so real, so deep, so profound. And Nanda Maharaj, very humble, he basically accepted the position because Upananda, his father, Parjanya, ultimately agreed. And all the people of Vrindavan said, yes, this is what we want, please do it. So he said, all right. But whatever Upananda tells me to do, I will do that. And that's the way it was from that day on. He accepted the role, the service. But Upananda was, anything he guided, Nanda Maharaj would immediately do it. After so many asuras and calamities were happening in Vrindavan, in Gokul, Upananda said, we should move across the Yamuna. There's Govardhan Hill. Let us go to the forest of Vrindavan. It's not that easy to just move a whole community. Practically the same day. But it was Upananda's suggestion, Nanda Maharaj, yes, we will go. And they went. So this story is still here in Gokul. Nanda Maharaj is the father of God. It's a very exalted title. Srila Prabhupada often says, that impersonal philosophies, they want to become God. But a devotee can become the Father of God. And better still, Yashodamai is the eternal Mother of God. And the Gopas are the friends of God. And the Gopis are his intimate lovers. This is the nature of bhakti. Loving, ecstatic relationship. So Nanda Maharaj, in his eternally most exalted position, he doesn't feel himself qualified. And yet we feel ourselves so qualified. He's very much feeling that his love for his child is for his child to be blessed by great souls. We were speaking, Srila Prabhupada's father and mother would invite sadhus almost every night to their home and serve them with so much humility and devotion to make them happy. Can you imagine eating the prasad of Srila Prabhupada's mother, Bengali mother, offered to Radha Govinda? So through the hospitality and through serving them wonderful prasad, the sadhus' hearts were overflooding with joy. And at that moment, Srila Prabhupada's father and mother, they would ask for only one blessing. Please bless our son, Abhay, that in his life he will be a great devotee of Srimati Radharani. Srila Prabhupada was a little child, but he would personally witness his parents begging these sadhus for blessings. And here he is in his mid-70s, the acharya of a worldwide movement, and he's remembering how his parents loved him. And this is how they expressed their love, by their example. Every morning he would rise and he would see his mother and father worshipping Radha Govinda, chanting the holy names of the Lord, offering puja. He'd see such integrity, such character in the way they lived, because they were conscious that Krishna's watching their every movement. Krishna's hearing their every word. We cannot pretend to be great devotees. When we're really conscious that Krishna's always there in our heart, watching and reciprocating. Krishna has entrusted this child. It is our first and foremost duty in life to make sure this child is happy in Krishna's mercy, that this child will love Krishna. They didn't ask the sadhus, bless my child to be a doctor. Bless my child to make lots of rupees and take care of us when we're old. These things children are supposed to do if that's their dharma. But everything's included. Because when the soul is happy, then life is perfect. Please bless our child that he will be a great devotee of Sri Radha. And Prabhupada would very emotionally and blissfully narrate his parents' example. In fact, the summary study of the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, Srila Prabhupada wrote Krishna book, which was the first revelation in the Western world of Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan, Mathura, Dwarka. And Krishna dedicated the book to his father, Gaur Bohande, who gave him this conception of loving Krishna from his earliest childhood. And he said, and later, my own beloved Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, gave me oh so much more. So here is Nanda Maharaj, the king of Braj, appealing to Gargamuni, please perform this name-giving ceremony, because this ceremony will invoke blessings upon these two babies, my children. Balaram, he knew, was Rohini and Vasudev's child. But the child was entrusted in his care. And ultimately, aham bija pratapita. Krishna tells, I am the seed-giving father and mother of all living beings. So is this child actually mine? It's Krishna's child. The soul belongs to Krishna. The body is made of Krishna's energy. But the child is entrusted in my care. And the way we care is with love. The highest love is to be an instrument of Krishna's love. So Nanda Maharaj was very, very much thinking the urgency that this name-giving ceremony must be performed to bless these children. And he told Gargamuni, if you're fearful that Kamsa will find out about you doing this, then we'll do it completely in secret. Not even my relatives will know. No public, no family, just us. Yes. Like that. The mood of Nanda Maharaj was not anything except for the true benefit of his child. There was not going to be any pomp, any ceremony, any festival. If he could have done that, he would have. Nandotsava, the birth ceremony, was incredible for Krishna. They were dancing, they were singing. Everyone in Vrindavan were dressed in their best garments. There was big feasts. They were throwing butter and yogurt all over each other. And it was a great festival. Something we can't even imagine. But the whole festival of Nandotsav, they performed the Abhishekam of Sri Krishna, was just for everyone to bless Krishna. That was the purpose. If you make everyone happy, they will shower their blessings. If you make everyone happy, if you make all these devotees happy, Krishna will reciprocate by fulfilling your wish to bless the child. So here is Nandotsav, the birth ceremony, samskara. Such a festival. Everybody dancing and singing and celebrating. And here is the next samskara, the birth. And it's completely secret and private. They hid in the Goshala, where the cows were. Nanda Maharaj did not even tell any of his family members. He just wanted that blessing for his children. And since Janmashtami's coming, and soon, we will only discuss the part about Balaram today. And Gargamuni, interesting, he says, this child, the son of Rohini, will give all happiness to his relatives and friends by his transcendental qualities. Therefore, he will be known as Rama. And because he will manifest extraordinary bodily strength, he will also be known as Bala. Moreover, because he unites two families, Vasudev's family and the family of Nanda Maharaj, he will be known as Shankarshan. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadev Goswami tells the story of the birth of Krishna and Balarama. That fateful night, the marriage of Devaki and Vasudev, Kamsa was so affectionately bringing his sister, cousin sister, to her husband's home. The very night of the marriage, a voice came from the sky. Kamsa, you are a fool. The 8th child of your sister will be the cause of your death. Suddenly his mood changed. From an affectionate brother with tears in his eyes, trying to make his sister happy, he grabbed her by the hair, his eyes glowing with wrath, pulled his sword, was about to sever her head. Shows how circumstances can change a person's consciousness. But Vasudeva pleaded with him. Philosophy didn't work for Kamsa. He spoke really good philosophy, but Kamsa couldn't hear it. He was stuck in fear and ego, arrogance. But Vasudeva was so honest when he promised, every child I will give to you, because you have no danger from your sister. Kamsa trusted him. And when they were in prison, after the 6 children were slain, they represented the 6 sons of Marichi, who represents the mind, who are the children of the mind in this world. Lust, anger, envy, arrogance, greed, and illusion. And in order for Krishna to manifest within our heart, we must remove those 6 enemies. They were actually children. They were cursed in a previous birth to be killed in this way. And after they were liberated. So at that time, Shankarshan, Balaram, entered the womb of Devaki. Krishna instructed Yogamaya to go to Gokul. He said, I want you to transfer the child of Devaki into the womb of Rohini, who is at Nanda Maharaja's home. And then I want you to take birth as my sister from Yashoda. Now to transfer Balaram, Srila Prabhupada writes in purport, that's really a big task. To take Balaram out of somebody's womb and move to somebody else's womb. Yogamaya was thinking this is what... But she said, so be it. Because she understood with the instruction of Krishna, by the will of Krishna, anything is possible. For any of us. That is Krishna's grace. Srila Prabhupada quotes from Haribamsa. Rohini Devi was living at Nanda Maharaja's house. She was 7 months pregnant. At midnight, she had a dream. It was a horrible dream. She dreamed that she had a miscarriage. Soon after, she woke up, and it was true. There was a miscarriage, at least apparently. She was feeling great motherly distress. And at that moment, Yogamaya spoke to her and told her, this is all my doing. I am attracting the child of Devaki into your womb. Rohini is the eternal mother of Balaram from the spiritual world. And when Devaki's child entered her womb, he actually took shelter of his eternal mother. Krishna told Yogamaya that this child who you are going to be transferring, his name is Shankarshan because he's going to unite two families. His name is Bala because he will give the residents of Gokul so much happiness. And his name will be Baladev. His name is Rama because of that happiness. And his name is Baladev because he will exhibit such limitless spiritual strength. So it's interesting. Garga Muni is giving the same names that Krishna told Yogamaya for Balaram. Srila Prabhupada, he said many times that we pray to Lord Balaram for spiritual strength. Balaram is the original guru. Krishna and Balaram together live forever in the spiritual world of Goloka. Srila Prabhupada, he wrote, on behalf of all of the great acharyas and scriptures, the difference between Krishna and Balaram is Krishna is dark like a monsoon cloud, and Balaram is white in complexion like a spring cloud. They are one and the same. Balaram is the first expansion of Krishna in the spiritual world. This gives the ultimate emphasis in our spiritual life on the principle of loving relationship beyond service. Beyond this material world of birth and death, we have our little earth planet. Above that is Swargaloka, the heavenly worlds. Above there is Janaloka, Maharloka, Tapaloka, the higher planets of the great rishis and sages. Beyond that is Brahmaloka, Satyaloka, the abode of Brahma. Brahma lives 311 trillion years. Beyond this material existence is the Brahma Jyoti, the Paravyoma, the eternal spiritual sky, which is forever filled with divine light. Within that spiritual sky are the planets of Vaikuntha, where the Lord is eternally residing. And above all the Vaikunthas is Goloka. Now, when we say first expansion, we can't exactly say it's chronological, because it's eternal. How can you have chronology in eternity? If Balaram is eternally existing, then how is he coming from Krishna? If Krishna is eternally existing, how is he coming from Nanda and Yashoda? These are wonderful mysteries. Because the concept of chronology in the spiritual world is not based on the influence of time as we know it in this material world. It is simply a pastime. It's simply a wonderful, wonderful arrangement of the Lord to increase the loving relationships within pastimes. Leela. So Balaram is the first expansion of Krishna. From Balaram comes the Chaturvyuha, Shankarshan, Aniruddha, Vasudev, Pradyumna. From that comes Narayan, the Narayan who is the Lord of Vaikuntha. From Narayan comes a secondary Chatur, the four. And from them, from Shankarshan comes Mahavishnu, Karunodakshai Vishnu, who's the Lord of the entire creation. He expands himself to be Garbhodakshai Vishnu, the Lord of each universe. He expands himself to be Kshirodakshai Vishnu, the Lord within the heart of every living being. And that Kshirodakshai Vishnu, who has a spiritual planet of Svetadvip, it is from he that all the avatars are manifested. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskrita. Krishna comes again and again and again into this world. All these great avatars, Narasimha, Varaha, Vamana, Ram, they all manifest through Kshirodakshai Vishnu. The cause of all causes of all of these is Balaram. He's the origin of all incarnations, the origin of all Purusha avatars, but his origin is Krishna. And Balaram, he's the original guru because the master of everything that exists, but eternally his life is to serve Krishna. As Narai, when the Lord appears as Narayan, Balaram appears as Anantashesha, to be his bed, his umbrella. Balaram expands in the spiritual world to be the spiritual world. He becomes the Lord's shoes. his jewelry, his chair, his bed. In every possible way, he's simply serving the Lord, giving pleasure to the Lord. And in reciprocation, the Lord is always giving pleasure to Balaram. Similarly, the Hladini Shakti, Sri Radha, who's none different than Krishna. For all of eternity, she's the servant of Krishna, giving pleasure to Krishna. And Krishna, for all eternity, feels himself indebted as the servant of Radha, giving pleasure to Radha. So this is the sum and substance of the highest revelations of yoga, of spirituality, is loving relationship. Achintya Beda Beda Tattva. Balaram is one with Krishna. They are the self-same person, but eternally they're different also. And that difference is for one reason only, to facilitate loving reciprocation. And this is bhakti yoga, the yoga that reconnects us to that love. All the gopis are simply assisting Sri Radha, and all the gopis are simply assisting Balaram in loving Krishna. One time Srila Prabhupada was sitting and some of his leading devotees were discussing expanding this movement and different properties that they were acquiring and different problems how to resolve and distributing so many millions of books. And Prabhupada was in a meditative mood. They asked Srila Prabhupada, one devotee, God knows why, but this devotee asked Prabhupada, what are you thinking? Srila Prabhupada said, I'm just thinking, what did Yashodamai put in Krishna's lunchbox today? The goal of everything is that simplicity.